right, welcome back. It's basically Monday, even though it's not really.
But close enough. I mean,
Yeah,
it essentially is. We're like two
yeah,
days away.
yeah. If it's the weekend, I mean, it's basically over, which means the next day is Monday. So,
Yeah, Freaky
congratulations,
Friday.
you're back.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah, it's over
Yeah.
already. How's your weekend? Too bad it's over. Haha.
Yeah, it's over. That's how it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, baby.
We've been gone for what, about a week and a half.
Yeah,
Yeah,
something like that. But I
Yeah.
mean, we're on episode 11. That's like, I don't know. That's like
streamed
almost 12. That's like a
eight
big good
days
chunk.
ago.
E-
Apparently, we just streamed 8 days ago. That's
Oh,
not bad, actually.
not
We're
even
actually pretty on target,
not
which is
even a
really
week and a
crazy
half.
because, yeah, we've all been like gone and like having scheduling conflicts. So we did it.
Not even a week and a half. Easy money. So what's
So
been
actually, I have a quick question for you, John, because you mentioned this before we started streaming. That you listened to the entire last episode. Is that right?
yeah, I did.
So like I just wonder because I also don't really listen to our episodes, and I think it's like maybe like I don't know, like I just feel like
Yeah, for
I
wait
feel
for
so
hold
judgmental.
hold on. For those of you who don't know, I don't think I've ever mentioned this on the podcast before, but I actually never listen to our episodes. So that's why he's saying like he doesn't as well. Like I'm notorious for not listening to a single podcast episode until like a few days ago.
Yeah, I'm like the only one that actually listens to the episodes. And they're hilarious, by the way.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, the last one I listened to, it was good. Yeah, it was funny.
I was just gonna ask, like, is there anything that like surprised you about like what you had said about anything? Like,
No, no, cause I don't know. For me, like when I hear a conversation, that I was a part of, I can already like remember what I said in the conversation. So like I knew like what was coming just based on what you guys were saying.
That's because
okay.
you're a genuine person. Like, what you say is what you mean.
Yeah,
So that's true.
usually that's the truth. I would hope so. I would sure hope so. But yeah, what have you guys been up to for the last, I guess 8 days? It's only been 8 days. I thought it was a week, much more than that, but
Oh,
I
living, picking pumpkins,
picking
smashing apples, all that
picking
good fall stuff.
pumpkins.
you did that.
Yeah, did
No,
you?
I didn't really do that, but
Oh,
obviously I'm not gonna tell the internet what I actually did, so I have to say something.
Okay, well then in that case, I was also picking pumpkins.
oh, okay.
No,
So
I'm just kidding.
so I
I'm just
guess
kidding. No, I wasn't doing really much anything except for I did this golf tournament yesterday. Was that yesterday? I don't even know. I'm
no.
so tired after it. Like,
Yeah,
this is the first time
that was
I've ever
yesterday.
done.
That was yesterday. Yeah.
It was, yeah. Yeah, yesterday was Thursday. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, man, I went all the way to Madison, and like it said on the invite to like show up at 9:30. So I'm like, I don't want to like drive 2 hours from Milwaukee to Madison in the morning and then do 18 holes of golf and then drive all the way back. So I got a hotel, stayed the night before just for this golf tournament. Turns out when we got there, like they weren't even ready at 9:30. There's like, oh, there's like no one usually shows up until like 10:30. I was like, well, what the heck? Like 10:30? Like I could have easily then just woken up. I mean, I guess I still would have had to do 18 holes, but like still, I wouldn't have had to wake up so early. So like we waited around. We did we ended up doing 18 holes of golf, which that was my first time ever doing 18 holes of golf. Wait, are you saying something, John?
No, no.
Oh, that was sorry. I thought you were so quiet and like I saw your Discord flashing, so I thought something
Oh,
was. Anyways, um, we did 18 holes of golf, and that was my first time doing 18 holes of golf. And my arms even now like they hurt. Like I need to take like medicine to make the hurt go away. Like I don't think I will ever. First off, we were done. We started at like 10:30. It was maybe yeah, 10:30, 11 is when we started golfing, and we we're done at like 5. Like it was just so
Hold on.
devastating. Like
Could you explain to me like the setup of this tournament? Was it like a normal like I guess I I don't know who's listening to this and is a golfer, but was this just like a normal like strokes thing, or did you guys like switch off hitting the ball and everything, or what?
yeah, it was I guess what they call a scramble. So like you each tee off. Each you first off you split off into like groups of 4 or like 3 or 4 or whatever. And then like your group goes off and like you're all on like a team then. And then you each hit, and whoever does the best hit, you all start, you do your next hit from that ball, and then you keep doing that until you get it in the hole, basically. So, like, it's the best of what all 4 of you combined can do, essentially, like,
Okay.
from each hit. So, like, it kind of makes it so you don't each all have to hit from, like, your shitty spots, and then some guy ends up having to go, like, 10 over par or something. So it just kind of keeps it a little bit quicker. And I feel like we were zooming through it. Like, we never, like, really, like, took our time or anything. And yeah, it took so long. My God, man. It was yeah, I can't think of even like my favorite activity that I would want to do for 6 straight hours. Like even if I was like at home, like listening to music, like playing video games, and I had like some good food in front of me. Like I feel like after like 4 hours of that, I'd be like, all right, I need a new activity or something. Or just like a break or something. But yeah, that people who do 18 holes like consistently, yeah, you have to be you have to be a golfer. Like a legit you have to yeah, call yourself a golfer. And I guess I do not bestow that title upon myself.
So do you think it's worthy of like the professional status that it gets now that you've done it yourself?
Yeah, I feel like I definitely would look at like President Trump and be like, look at that guy. He's so fat, but he plays golf all the time, like as if that's gonna like get him anywhere. But like honestly, like no man. If you're playing like a bigger course or like a decent course, like yeah, that's definitely gonna burn some calories. Unless like you're like hitting unless you're hitting off the golf cart like while sitting down, which would be hilarious.
It's like golf polo.
I'm sure that exists.
Yeah,
Someone's
it has to.
definitely done that.
So then, like, so is this the first time you had to like hit off the tee and everything like that, or is this just the first time you've done it 18 times in a row?
This is just the first time I've done 18 holes. Like, yeah, I've definitely done 9 holes, like plenty of times. Like, I've played like I remember with like you guys growing up. I played also like with a couple of friends in college, like randomly, and and then I've also played with my parents a couple times in the past couple months this year. But like I've never done 18. Like usually we do 9, and after 9, I'm just like, all right, I'm done. I'm definitely done. But
Yeah.
like, oh man, 18, yeah, that was brutal. I don't know if I'll ever do that again. Like, I can't say like I looked back at that and like enjoyed that. Like, I could have easily stopped at 9 and been happy.
It's
And
Do
I
valid.
you
will say
get?
also that by the time we were done, no one else was on the golf course. So I think a lot of people did quit and probably just went back to the clubhouse and started drinking because like everyone was there. Like, yeah, like they definitely didn't finish.
They're like, yeah, we'll just do the front nine and call it a day. But you guys are like, nah, we're going
Yeah,
pro the
I'm.
whole
I
course.
was gonna say I'm willing to bet that the majority of people do it that way, and then you were just one of the newbies who like just stayed on the course, and they were probably just watching you from the clubhouse with their drinks, like, look at this fucking noob playing that much of golf. He doesn't know
Yeah,
why we're really here.
yeah, probably actually.
So
But
did
now,
you guys
no.
did you guys like place like in the tournament or whatever?
Yeah, how much of an actual tournament was this? Did you just call it a tournament because a lot of people were invited, or like,
I think
is there
that's
an actual
more what it
prize?
is.
Okay.
There is a prize, but like I know for sure we didn't win it because like there were a couple like ringer groups like where like they all got together, like they know each other and they
Yeah.
purposely grouped together because they know they're all good, and like it's basically a tournament between them, like.
Like those are the guys that you hire to make like the golf swing noises in Mario Golf. Like it's so perfect every time. Just
Yeah, yeah. But I will say I did have a couple really good hits, and they had like these booths set up at every hole. Not every hole, it's like every other hole, where like one of our suppliers would like sell us some stuff while we were like about to tee off a little bit, like just like a quick conversation about like what they did in the industry, and then they would give us their card, which I thought was actually kind of cool. But like this, they would also do like bets. Like one company had a booth set up where like if you pay them $5 before you tee off and you get a hole in one on this one, they'll give you $10,000. So like we did the bets, and then at the end, at the very last hole of the day, and we were all exhausted. Uh, my dad, they ask us if they want us to do the bet, and we're just like, no, man. Every time we did the bet, we did worse than we normally did. Like, so we're just like, no, like we'll play it. We're not gonna waste our time. But my dad, it was this really hard one too. Like you had to hit it straight over like this lake basically, or like this like huge pond, and over a hill. It's like on top of a hill. And like if you make a hole in one, you get something. I forget what it was, but if you make it at least on the green, you get like a bunch of these extra raffle tickets. And my dad, he actually whiffed the first ball, like total. It was so bad they just no one even counted it. But the second ball, he actually made it like pretty close on the green, and like he didn't pay the guy the $5 to take the bet, but like he was like, dude, he's like, he's like, you guys are my last group, and he said no one made it across. Yeah, he said he just gave him the tickets because he hadn't given out any tickets the whole day. He's like, I have to at least give out something, and you actually made it across, so here, just take them. He said no one all day has made it. So even the ringer group, they all fucked up that last shot.
dude. Yeah, that's part of the game. Like if you add that pressure, now it's like totally different. Like you're not even playing the same like round of golf anymore. Now it actually matters.
That is funny, yeah, because my dad didn't buy the ticket, so then he made it, and then like sure enough, everyone else, all the ringers, like, yeah, you have to bet. Like they were definitely paying for the bet money. They're
That's
probably
why
like
there's
lining it up and stuff. Like, all right, let me see about this one.
yeah. That's why there's a such job as a sports psychologist. Psychologist, like how crazy is that? Like just to like make sure athletes win. That's
Yeah,
great.
that actually is pretty crazy.
Oh man. But that's actually like brilliant. I didn't realize that they also had vendors on the course too. So this is like a walk around convention that just happened to be on a golf course and you could golf at the same time.
Yeah, and I actually loved the idea because I'm used to just the normal convention where like you just have to talk to people all the time, and
Yeah,
then
that
that's
is
it.
so fucking smart.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
it is
Yeah,
good.
that's crazy. Okay. Kudos to whatever industry you're in.
The security industry.
All right. I
Security.
just wasn't sure if you wanted to like
Yeah,
put
no, I appreciate that.
okay.
He can save himself. He's in security.
Yeah, security.
Yeah.
I mean, not like security, like as in like electronic security, cameras and all that stuff. Yeah, I'm okay with everyone knowing that.
So is there such thing in your line of security as like an ethical like hacker or robber? Are there people that like test how secure your systems actually are?
Like you can pay them to do it.
Yeah.
Um, I have never seen, out of all the conventions and events I've ever been to in the industry, I've never met someone who has said, we'll hack your system for you. No. But I'm sure I could go online and find someone to do
I'm
that.
sure that exists.
Could you imagine if someone had a booth at a convention and they're like, "We'll hack our competitors live in front of you."
Oh my God. That would be, yeah, I feel like that's probably why they don't have that. Like, it's just be too jarring, like, cause too much of a ruckus. Yeah. So like, yeah, it's like all these booths, like they all like have something like they've got their cameras pointed at you, and then like they have a monitor, a huge monitor where your face pops up on their booth. Like, so like it's super like it's attention grabbing. Like I would imagine this booth would be like as you walk by, it would just show like an open screen of like your pictures or text messages on your cell phone, and you look at the screen and be like, "Well, what the fuck?" I'm like, yeah, come on by, we can hack anything. Like,
Yeah, holy shit. Could you imagine? That's gonna be an attraction at your next state fair. You heard it here first.
yeah,
Like,
in the
for real.
electronic age, yeah. I'd be like, oh God, get off my phone! I would just run away. Like, no.
there'd be no way, because then that person would be exposing themselves so much. If they had that much that power, they would never show up at
Yeah,
any convention. There's
they
no
would
You know,
chance.
immediately have a lawsuit on their hands.
actually, that so actually, if you're listening to this right now and you like to do those carnival games, you should probably never ever go to that like guess your weight or like guess something about me game ever again because it's so easy to like get all the information that you could ever want on someone these days that someone could just have like an earpiece in and they'll guess your weight like on the spot just like that no matter what because it's like on your driver's license or something like that.
Wow, that's cheating.
Well, yeah,
But I mean, you paid him to cheat, so
yeah. But now I'm saying it's like even more impossible.
wait, how's it impossible?
Like that you would ever like win. Because
Oh,
at
yeah.
first, like at least maybe they would like get it wrong by like 5 or 10 pounds. And you could be like, huh, nope, that's not it. And then grab your like stuffed teddy bear or whatever.
Yeah, they're just gonna actually weigh you. That's all. They're just gonna bring up your actual profile and be like, "This is you, man. I know it." But yeah,
Yeah.
that I think that game in particular probably has always been set up. Oh, I guess most carnival games are set up to never be in your favor anyway. So if you go to the carnival trying to fool those people, like, wow, well, that's a crazy game to be playing. You're just like you're going to the carnival trying to just see how many scammers you can scam.
Yeah, like they're trying to scam you, and they're already prepared, and you're showing up as an unprepared civilian, and you're trying to like
Yeah.
battle against them. Like, all
That's
right,
like
good luck.
that's like being the people who think they can like discover like if there's a clone of a certain actor or if like aliens exist all based on like fuzzy photos from like the 70s. Like you there's no good you can never be a good enough internet detective to detect like government level secrets, I don't think. Like
Yeah.
if they get leaked, if the only way you would actually find out, I feel like, is if the government actually leaked something by accident. And even then, I feel like they could probably cover it up well enough to where you wouldn't know. And that's what's so
So
crazy. Like, why even try it? Like, why even try to scam the scammer?
so here's the question for you guys. What is, and you don't have to actually like go into like what happened, but do you guys remember or have a time where you got scammed the hardest?
Yeah, yeah, I think I do.
Scammed. I don't.
Yeah, I would say I have a decent scam story.
Like, could so you don't actually have to say like what it is if you're like too embarrassed. But like, what type of like scam was it? Was it like a online scam? Was it like a person pretend to be like in trouble scam or like what was it?
Well, I tried to get this hooker, and
Oh,
then
okay.
no, I'm just kidding. No, I was trying to buy a PlayStation, I think it must have been 3 on Craigslist. and it was so stupid. Like it was a decent, I don't know, whatever. Like I bought it. I found this guy on Craigslist selling a PlayStation 3 for like $100, and then I was like, oh sweet. So I like met up with him. Like it was at like Bayshore, and I was just all I was like when I met up with him, I was like, all right. I was like, so it works, and he was like, yep. I was like, all right then. And then like that was just it. He was like, all right. And then he's like drove away and then I gave him $100 and I took the PlayStation 4 or 3. And then when I got home, like I played it and it actually did work for like a couple like maybe like a couple hours. But then like yeah, like maybe like 2 or 3 hours into it, it just like redlined basically. And I was like, what the fuck just happened? So like it was a completely dead PlayStation for $100. And the guy knew it because like I found out that the number he was using was like a text now number or something like that. I was like,
Dang.
oh. I was like, all right, well he purposely sold me. And like it would start up like if I unplugged it for long enough and plugged it back in. If I like left it unplugged for like a day, it would turn back on. But like again in 2 hours it would just burn out. So yeah, yeah, it was broken. He knew it. And I obviously texted him and be like, "What the fuck? This thing doesn't work. Like, can I get a refund?" And he just never responded. And then like I called the number and it said it was a text now number that was now disconnected. I was like, "Oh." And text now, like if you're listening to this in the I don't know, if you don't know what it is, it's like an app where you can like get a quick number to like send a text from like online basically
Okay.
for scammers.
For scammers.
For
Yeah,
scammers.
I can't really remember being scammed. Trying to think like
You've never fallen for like any scam? It's
like
always on the internet. That's the
like
only
what? Yeah,
time.
what kind of yeah? It's not, like I don't. Yeah, I don't like buy things from people online unless it's like through like Amazon or something.
You've never bought like a scammy or false product on Amazon?
No.
Dang. Yeah, no, I got scammed. So the scam I fell for was a pity scam, and it was someone and like I had known them for like a little bit, and then they're like, "Oh, I really need some help," and then I helped them, and then I never heard from them again after
Mm.
that. It was like it was like it was like the ultimate long game. Like they'd been playing the long game for like I don't remember what episode it was, but how your wife John Danielle got scammed by that lady that was trying to sell
Yeah, yeah.
those fitness groups. It was like that.
Oh
Wow.
my God. Wow, that is weird.
Yeah. I don't want to go any further into it than that. I think they're probably in jail, but
One can only hope.
Oh, okay. I guess like I have. I don't know if it was a scam, but like this is probably the closest I'll have come. Like when we bought our second car, the people that we bought it from were definitely pretty sleazy. Like for some reason, I don't know why, but we when we came to look at the car, it was like an older car. Like it was a old Toyota that we were getting, and it was for a second car. And basically it had like two things that were wrong with it that were like on the side of the car and like a number next to those two things, right? Like it with
Mhm.
dollar signs. So like I said, an amount next to each one. And we came in, and when we talked to the guy about the car, I like pointed to that and said, "Hey, does this mean that that's how much it's going to cost to fix that part?" And he said, "Yeah, that's how much it would cost." So it's like, okay. So I put that together with the price of the car and was like, okay, that's actually not bad. I could probably just do that. And we ended up buying the car. So
Mhm.
then, when we tried to like come back to them, we had the oil change at some point. We came back to them to try to get the car like fixed, and also mention other problems that like basically our mechanic told us like if they sold you this car, they would have had to do an inspection themselves to the car to be able to sell it to you. Like per their company's process. So basically, that means they knew what was wrong with the car before selling it to me, and they sold it to me anyway. So basically, like we called them back and mentioned that, and also said like you also mentioned that this was the price to fix those things. So the guy that I talked to on the phone goes back to the salesman that we talked to and says, "Yeah, he says he never said that." And I'm just like, wait.
Wow.
I'm like, wait, what? He's like,
Uh,
yeah, and I'm inclined to believe him. I mean, that's just not normal to tell people that the amount on there. I was like, well, here, then what's the amount for? And I shit you not, he said that that's the amount for them to inspect the car and tell you what's wrong with it. I'm like, wait a
Holy
second.
shit.
How is that even possible when you have what's wrong with it already listed? He said, yeah, but if you want to really know what's wrong, you have to pay that much because we're just telling you that that's where the area of concern is. We're not telling you how to fix it. I'm like, wait, so I bought the car from you and you're going to just not tell me, like, how to fix the car? And they're like, yep. So like
Dang.
that's basically like the closest I've got to a scam. Like I wouldn't even call that a scam either though because like in a very large part of us knew that that car had issues. Like we knew that going in. I was just surprised that they tried to like eke out another 500 or 600 bucks from us to try to have them diagnose it for us. So, yeah, I mean, I guess you can call that scammy, but I mean, I expect that from people in the car industry, honestly.
Do you want to
Yeah.
put that dealership on blast?
I would if I remembered. I'd have to look through some paperwork, but maybe on the next podcast, I'll start with that.
Wait, it was a dealership?
Yes, yes,
Wow, that's interesting.
yes,
Every
it
time I've
was.
bought from a dealership, nothing like that's ever
And
happened.
usually
I'm
my
not to say I've
yeah,
never
usually my
bought a
experience with
bad car,
dealerships
but
have been good. Two other times I've dealt with a dealership and they've been fine. And that that specific one was just very sleazeball. Like holy fuck.
what city was it in?
I mean, I don't know that.
God
Probably
damn it.
it was probably somewhere in Minnesota though. I'm assuming.
So somewhere in Minnesota, watch out. You're getting scammed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we were already in
So
Minnesota by that point.
was this like a brand name dealership or like a used car lot?
No, it was like a brand name dealership, and they had, but they only like they had two or three used cars that I'm assuming that they had got from other people who were trying to like trade their cars in.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, that's how we
Dang.
got both of our cars actually. And what's crazy is we got our other used Toyota before that from a different dealership. But I like just as big, maybe a little bit bigger. I don't know, but it was fine. Like I think it was a Toyota dealership though, so that's part of the reason why. Like it was a Toyota, so like they had to like make sure everything's fine with it. Otherwise, it's like they're tarnishing their name.
Mhm.
But yeah, that car is actually still running today. Like we got that car like 6 or 7 years ago now. Yeah, 7 years ago. Because we had to replace the license plates because apparently in Minnesota you have to replace your license plates every 7 years.
Wow.
Yeah, so yeah, that's great. It's like it's really the tale of two cars. Like I had one amazing experience and then one just fucking brick of a car.
Oh, man. Yeah, my last car, like I loved it so much. Like I bought a Honda Civic. I forget what year. It's like a 2006 Honda Civic for $8,000, and then 3 years later, I sold it for $300.
Oh my God, wait, what?
Yeah, isn't that terrible?
Oh my god.
Did you
Wait.
did someone rob the car from like
Yeah,
did you
what the
sell the
fuck?
wheels for 300? How?
Like one day, like everything was great. Like that was the best car ever. I loved it. Like that car was like a part of me. But then like one day, like right when I was getting off the highway on the way home, like it just it like I would press on the gas, the engine would rev up, but like nothing, my car would like kind of drive forward, but like not really. And then I realized like it's not like shifting out of first gear, or it's like in between gears, it seems like. And then like I realized the transmission was broken. And then
Fuck,
like I called
man.
around and got some estimates, and it was basically like $8,000 to replace
Oh,
the transmission. So then like this
Eight
one
eight
dude,
thousand?
Yeah, yep, I know. Like from multiple places, it was like, yeah, about 8,000. Like I
There's
had one
no
guy just
way.
tell me that like I should just scrap it. Like that's all it's worth now.
There's no
That's what I
way.
did basically. Like so one day, like I was just sitting in my driveway and like this
There's no
one
way.
guy.
There's no way that car didn't have more than $300 worth of scrap metal. There's no
Yeah.
way.
Right? I'm like, come on, like I've at least lost a couple joints in there. There's like at least $50 worth of weed in there at least.
Yeah, seriously.
Resale value going straight to the sky.
Yeah.
If you look hard enough, you might be able to find it. I mean, depending on what state you're in, that could be a liability, but like still.
Jesus
Would you
Christ.
do that? Let's say you were a mechanic at one of these places and you took out the center console and there's just like blunt that's been unsmoked. Obviously, they like lost it. Would you light it up?
No.
Nowadays, no. I feel
No,
like
absolutely not.
because you don't know what's in that
Yeah.
blunt. Like they
No,
could
thank
put some
you.
sort of juice in there, some cocaine,
You're not gonna have me fucking
some
tripping balls on the side of the
heroin.
road, fucking freeway. No.
Yeah.
You're not gonna have me acting a fool.
Promazine.
Absolutely not.
But I mean, like maybe like in the early 2000s, I would have.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
But I mean, I didn't smoke in the early 2000s, so like I wouldn't have. But if I was my age back then, I would have.
I wouldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
I think I would do it.
Oh my god.
No, but I think I would dump it out and then like do
Yeah,
like a
that's
quarter of a
smart.
bowl.
Yeah, actually, like open it up and see what's in there.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
You all
Whoa,
are
that's
so brave.
funny.
Yeah, I sold that car to like the guy who was like doing my lawn. He was like, "Yeah, I'm just trying to get by, like make a few extra bucks." He's like, "I'll rake up your grass for you for like 20 bucks." I was like, "Sure." And then like a couple days later, he's like, "So what's with this car?" And I'm just like, "I don't know. It's broken. The transmission's broken, and it costs more to fix it than the car itself is worth."
He fixed it himself.
And
He did it.
and
Yeah.
he's like, "I'll give you $300 for it." I was like, "Deal." And he's like, he walked home. He didn't even have a car. He walked home. I guess he like lives in my neighborhood, and then just like got $300 and just walked back over here. And then like I've never seen the car since.
It was just gone one day.
Yeah, yep. I was like, "All right, thanks." And like that was it. And he never did any more yard work for me. Like he did yard work for me for like a couple weeks before that happened. Like basically all the money I
He
paid
didn't need
him,
it.
like he just took that, came back and bought my car for it.
Yeah, he
So
didn't need it.
basically I
He
sold
flipped
my
your
car for
car.
some
He flipped your
lawn
car.
work.
He didn't need your lawn work anymore. He flipped that motherfucker.
Honestly, that's smart. Like I commend him. I hope he made some money for my car. He said he had like some cousins who can fix it. I was like, all right.
Okay. Man, what a business.
Yeah.
Like you're in the scrap car business, but part of your business is like not being like an actual like car salesman. It's being just like a good Samaritan first.
Like an
And then
undercover handyman, yeah.
yeah. And then you're like, "Hey, so what about this car?" And then you just disappear.
Yeah, like you just have someone like a scout who drives around the neighborhoods and finds like cars that look like they've been sitting there for a while.
Yeah.
And they're like, here's one. Send this into the station. And then they're like, oh yeah, okay, well we'll send Johnny out there.
That's crazy. Cause I mean, like, that's brilliant. Like, cause if you don't make the sale in a car dealership, then you get nothing. But if you like do this like recon work and like disguise yourself as like a lawn worker or something, like at least you get something from it.
Yeah, you get paid. You get to do easy, like mind-numbing work. There's no drug test, there's no hours, there's no boss. You just get to, yeah, you just get to flip it yourself.
Yeah, and you get them to trust you the same way that you're trying to get them to trust you in a sleazy like car dealership.
I never saw him again. Like he literally like made the money from my lawn thing and then like used like I probably didn't pay him $300. I probably paid him like 150-ish maybe for the work he had done, maybe a little bit more. And then yeah, he came back and gave me $300, and then he took my car that I haven't driven in like months.
I really don't want to say that was like the biggest scam, but that might have been the biggest scam you've ever encountered.
No, the biggest scam, I mean, sorry, I didn't mean to shut it down so quickly, but I've been saving this one for, I don't know if I've talked about this one before, but my ex, who I will not name, out of just respect from embarrassment of this one, because this happened to her. So like when I was with her, she
Oh, I
used to
think I know.
work at this ice cream shop, and like one day, like when she was working, she was like the shift manager. Uh, one night when she was working, this random person called and was like, "Hey, I'm from corporate, and like we're sending someone down to just, like collect the money from the cash register. So it's like get it ready. We'll be there at this time, and then we'll pick it up." And yeah, yeah. She's like, "Oh, okay." She's like, "All right, thanks." So she like got the money from the cash register, and like instead of picking it up, they're like, "Oh, by the way, you're gonna have to meet this person on 30th and Capitol." Like, which if you know Milwaukee, like that is not where you would meet someone. And it was like 8 o'clock at night, like in the winter, so it was like completely dark outside. Like, actually, no, I think it might have been a little bit later. It may have been like 9 or something like that. But like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know who in the right mind would ever like do this, but like, yeah, they had to meet in the parking lot of like a Kmart on like in the hood at Capitol Drive in Milwaukee. And like the ice cream shop was nowhere near there. And there's like, yeah. And in fact, it was definitely late because it was at the end of her shift. She was like, she couldn't leave her shift to go meet him there. She had to wait she was done until she was done to close up the store, take the money, and go to this super shady, unlit parking lot. And like, it wasn't until she actually got there, there was just a guy, just like who called or whatever. It was a yeah, this random I don't know. She said she maybe thought he was like 40-ish years old or something like that. Like, dude. And yeah, she gave him the money, and then like he was like, "All right, thanks a lot." And then he just drove away and didn't like that was all that was said. He said, "Thanks a lot," took the money, drove away. And then she was just like standing there in the dark in the parking lot and it's like something doesn't feel right. And then she called her boss. I think she called me. She called maybe someone else. Her boss was like, "You need to call 911 right now." Like that was definitely not corporate. Like that was just some guy. So like apparently like they figured out almost right away who this guy was because he didn't even like try to hide his number that he called from. Like so apparently he's been doing this like all over town for like a year and a half up until that point. And like they've been looking for him, but they just don't know where he stays or lives. But he did end up getting caught maybe a year or two later. He got pulled over or something, and they figured out who he was, and they just took him to jail. But yeah, that was. I mean, she handed over like it was like $4,000 or something like that. Like maybe yeah, 4 or 5 thousand dollars. He was like, yeah, just completely took the cash register out, handed it to some guy in the hood, and at like, yeah, it was like 11 o'clock at night, probably, if it was when her shift closed then. So, yeah,
That's
that was brutal.
outrageous, man.
Yeah, I felt bad for her that she didn't. I felt bad because I knew she felt bad for herself, as like, understandably, like, it's just like you feel like you should like looking back at it, you feel like you should have known. But like she was young, like I think we were both like 19 or something at the time.
Uh,
So like we were super young, like yeah, she should have known, but at the same time, like yeah, I guess like she just never knew that was someone was capable of such trickery. But she definitely, I bet she's never gonna fall for that again. That's for sure. So
Dude, I bet they even like send in like members of the crew like over weeks, like just to see like, all right, who's like the last person that like works here? Who's like who closes? And it's like who's the youngest?
Oh,
Who's
I'm
been
sure.
working here
Yeah.
the least?
Yeah.
Like, all right, so we gotta do it on this day with this person at this time and all that.
Yeah, who looks the most naive and gullible?
Yeah, yeah. Yikes. Yeah. So if you guys wonder why I don't like going outside, there you go.
Yeah. Fuck outside.
Yeah, fuck outside. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, holy shit.
I was actually outside a lot this past weekend because I went to a friend of I guess a mutual friend of ours kind of wedding, and yeah, man, that was crazy. Like I don't even know how to even begin to describe to you what like what it's like to be at like a black wedding. Like it's just different.
Is it like the movies?
um it depends on what movie you're watching. Are you watching
Uh,
like
Did he do a strip dance?
no.
Did she do a strip dance?
N- no.
Okay, all right. No, it wasn't too bad then.
No, it was.
I'm sorry,
No, it
what could
wasn't.
have
No, it wasn't
happened?
a bad. It wasn't a bad wedding. No, no, no. It was
it's
just what went on
a
after.
I
black
mean,
wedding movie
bad as
where
far as crazy.
I don't know what you just said.
yeah, sorry.
Oh no, yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna say a black movie where like the crew is like part of the cast, and you know the people I'm talking about, right? Like Tyrese, is he part of the crew?
Tyrese.
Tyrese.
Yeah,
And
man.
like what's her name?
Yeah,
Uh,
I already know who you're talking about. I forget her name though. Yeah,
No,
I never.
no, not really. No, not like that. Um, but maybe close. Maybe close on the groom side.
okay.
Except like we don't all hang out with each other. Like, because I was actually in
Well,
the wedding. I was a groomsman.
so do tell, what makes this wedding so crazy?
Yeah, it wasn't crazy the wedding per se. It was just the day that was crazy. So, um, yeah, just for people who don't know or who have never been to an all black wedding, um, things tend to not really like start on time. So uh
Oh my god.
we actually had were told to like get there like try to get there before 12, and the wedding started at 1. I got there like 12:15 after like all the stops that we had to make, and we were still super early. The wedding started maybe at 1:35. So, and even at 1:20, people were still like walking in and like as Danielle would put it, like making a scene about how they had arrived at the wedding. Like, it's like, hey,
See?
hey, y'all, I'm here. Like, what's going on? Like, yeah, it was, yeah. So that was interesting. But something else that I actually got to like while I was waiting for things to start. I found out who I was gonna walk with like down the aisle or whatever, and they did it at this park, and it was actually really really nice because the weather was like perfect for an outdoor wedding. So like it was a really nice spot to like do the wedding, and then like if people wanted to sit down they could, and then like we went and did pictures and stuff because it was pretty I don't know I don't want to say like it wasn't like one of those parks where everything's just like roses and daffodils everywhere where it's manicured, but it had a lot of normal nature scenes in it that you wouldn't normally see at like rundown parks.
Hmm.
So like that was where we ended up doing pictures after. The ceremony was great, but while we were waiting for the ceremony, I got to meet some of the other groomsmen, who all of which I didn't personally know. And one of them that I met, uh, and for on the off chance that he somehow finds this podcast, maybe in when they reincarnate him in 2222, I for the life of me can't remember this guy's name. But really, it doesn't matter because the only thing that I can remember about him is that when I first saw him and Keenan was pointing him out, he was telling me who he was, and he says, "That's the dude with 9 kids." And
Oh my god.
when you hear that, I obviously you probably know the answer because I'm telling
That's
this
the dude.
story.
That's how
Yeah,
he was
but
introduced.
yeah, but when you hear that, do you think to yourself, haha, like he has actually 9 kids, or do you think to yourself, ha, that's a good joke. He must have like 3 or 4. Like what do you think's more likely there normally? That he actually has 9? I wouldn't have guessed that. So, yeah, I talked to him and was like, "What's going on with everyone saying you have 9 kids?" And he was like, "Because I have 9 kids."
He has 9 kids.
Yes, so he actually
So what did he
has
even say
nine.
after that moment?
Yeah, he actually has 9 children, and and the other crazy thing about this guy is I shit you not, Danielle didn't think so, but it was part of it was I'll just tell you, he to me looks exactly like Drake. Like he's a carbon copy of his face is a carbon copy of Drake. Like it's Drake. So so like Danielle couldn't see it because he had like this little like shaved sides and like a man bun kind of. So like she couldn't see him because he didn't have short hair. But this guy looks exactly like Drake, and I asked him about the 9 kids, and he says, "Yeah, man, I was like, so how? I was like, how does that happen? Like, that's the normal first question. I was like, I'm just gonna be honest with you because I find you fascinating. I'm like, how does
He
that
said,
even
how does
happen?
that happen?
Yeah, I said, how does that happen? And he says, yeah, so like, I have 4 with one, and I have 3 with another, and I had two others with another lady."
Jesus
And I was just
Christ.
like, oh, all right,
It
well, that's great.
sounded like he was like happy to share that information.
Yeah, he was perfect. Yeah, he was perfectly fine sharing that information. He did not withdraw any information about it at all. And you know who else didn't uh pull any punches when giving information about it? The woman that he brought, who happens to be the mother of 4 of the kids.
Is like,
So
yeah.
yeah, and they were talking to each other like they were together, which was interesting to me. But yeah, so like this is the other weird thing about her. We also talked to her about the 9 kids. She's like, "Yeah, I've got his first 3 and his last one."
What? Oh
Yeah.
my god.
So what?
Oh my god.
So he went off and had wait. So he had 3 kids with her. Like he went off and
And then
had
they're forced to
5.
reveal this at a wedding.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, he went off and had 5 other children, and then they just had a kid.
Oh my
And get
god.
this, just to keep you on pace here, he has 9 kids, and his oldest is 9.
Oh my
Wait, what?
god.
Yes, I
That should
shit
be
you
illegal.
not.
That should be illegal. He should be in jail. No, I'm literally not even kidding.
Oh
He
my
should be
god.
in jail. At the very least, he should be forcibly neutered or whatever. I wouldn't want to call it for guys. Like
Yeah.
literally, like
Um.
there is no fucking way he's a good dad. Any of those 9 kids. I mean,
So
maybe he can be a good dad for a couple of them, but I feel like that is severe neglect.
So yeah, that was my initial thought too, and I can't like again, like I can't say like maybe what could be really crazy? What if he had all 9 kids living in the same house? I didn't ask him
Damn.
Okay.
where they live, but like what if that was a
Okay.
possibility? Cuz like
I would take it back. That I
okay,
guess fine.
cuz you
Yeah.
know why I say that? I only say that
That's
because this
brilliant.
is yeah, that's what I'm
That's a
saying.
TV show.
Like, dude, so I'm telling you, I think that's possible because again, this guy's Drake. And two, they also came with another girl who was white. I don't think he was involved with her, but she was very, very close to the mom of the 4 kids. So like, I think it's perfectly possible there's multiple people living in the house, and maybe he takes care of all of them under the same roof somehow. I have
Oh,
no
Wow.
fucking
baby.
clue.
He has sister wives.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe. But like, it's crazy because he like talked about them with pride. He was not shy about it at all, and he made sure to tell me. It's funny you said that, Valera, that he couldn't be taking care of them well, or like he couldn't be a good dad. He made sure to tell me that he feels like his life is his kids, and he is like either is working to make sure they're provided for or with them, basically. So I was just like, all right, well, I mean, I can't really fault you. Like, to your point, Valero, after a certain number of humans, like, you can't have 30 kids in 30 years and tell me that, like, you didn't neglect at least 5 of those fuckers. Like, there's just not enough
Yeah,
time in the day, right?
literally.
But I mean, is 9 the threshold? I really don't. I don't know, man. But I just thought he was super interesting. That was one part of the wedding that was like, that's definitely something I have to tell the guys when I get back. um, and then the other part was that the actual wedding itself was great. They had like super like touching and like down to earth vows that like made exact sense for them. But a couple things happened at the wedding that were uh, not great. And just to be clear, it was not the doing of the bride or groom. It was just some people there that were acting a fool. Um,
Was there a fight?
no, no. So, uh, so there was a small child, like a boy there. He could have been anywhere from like 8 to 11. May I don't think he was 12, but like 8 to 11, maybe 12. And like they were playing music and we were all dancing and stuff. Like we had some throwbacks from like Whitewater days and all that kind of stuff. Like it was crazy. But yeah, they were dancing. Some of the people were dancing, and some of the women, one of the women in particular, made sure to tell everyone how ratchet she was. Like she kept saying it throughout the entire day. I'm not really sure why, but she wanted us to know that she was ratchet. So she also told me later in the day that dark skinned dudes are the new thing, and I basically look like I'm bleached. So yeah, that was
What?
fun. That was fun. Yeah. Yep. And I'm
Okay.
Wait,
basically
wait,
white.
hold on. So,
This is the same person?
so I just want to know how how long after you met her did she say that she was ratchet?
I hadn't even met her yet. She was yelling
So she was announcing it
it.
to the room.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Yep. Yeah, I never actually formally met her. I couldn't tell you her name.
Okay.
She was just in the I was just next to people that she was talking to, and she pointed at me at some point during the thing she was talking about skin color, and just like
Damn.
casually said that I was like basically white.
What the fuck?
Wow.
I hadn't spoke yet either, so like she couldn't even have said like told from that point like if she thought I was white from my voice or anything. It was just like nope,
That was
here's
pure racism.
Like you're just
Pure.
there and she already like one part of her brain was bothered that
yeah,
someone like
yeah,
light was
yeah, I
there.
guess, yeah,
Wow. Yeah,
yeah. She
that's
said light skinned dudes are out.
that is
Of course, she's dark skinned. So I mean, that's not super
yeah.
surprising.
She's like this just then.
Yeah, yeah. So that was great. But anyway, she was the center of one of my issues. When there was some songs coming on, some of the women who had proclaimed themselves, queens of ratchetness, were on the floor and they were shaking that thing. But at a certain point they got this kid involved and like were
Please, can
coaxing.
we not? No, we
No,
can't.
no,
You can't
yeah,
say this on
yes,
the
yes, I
internet.
can. I can say it. I'm gonna say
Oh my
it.
god.
They were basically coaxing him to like dance very sexually with these grown women, and like the Queen of Ratchet herself was leading this charge and like trying to get him to do it to her,
That's
and
weird.
then and like all the other women were supporting it. But just to be clear, all the other proclaimed ratchet women were supporting it. There were plenty of women who were like, "What the fuck's happening?" But yeah, it happened like right there in front of me, and that really fucking bothered me. Uh, cause I
And
feel
how old
like,
was this kid?
like I said, he could have been anywhere from 8 to max 12.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's too young.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, 12. That's way too fucking young. Like, what the
I
fuck?
feel like yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's too young. Like that's weird. Like,
Yeah.
could you imagine if like the roles were switched and a guy
That's exactly
got a
that's
girl and was
exactly
like,
what I said to
yeah,
Danielle.
like
Yeah.
come bend it over in
Yeah,
front of
he
me.
would be in
Yeah,
jail. He
yeah.
would be in jail within the hour.
Yeah, literally within the hour.
But
Yeah,
these
that,
women are literally sexually assaulting this little boy, and I'm just like, what the fuck? And I was like, this is all the proof you need that a lot of black women who are ironically will be complaining about how that guy ain't shit after they erased him like that. They're gonna be they don't care at all about black boys, even the ones they're raising. Like that's just nuts. Like what
yeah,
are you
yeah.
doing? Yeah. So, but and that's crazy because like that, unfortunately, like that. Though I know those people existed, but that was crazy for me because that was one of the first times I had experienced black women that were to that degree. Like I've known a lot of really good black women in my life, which is crazy. So, because when I saw them, I was like, this is just crazy. Like you live like this permanently, and she's just like owning it. Like she's like proud of it.
I'm ratchet. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah, so that I don't know. That was a little weird, but again, I don't know the bride and groom to be that way, but apparently some people they knew were doing some crazy shit. So yeah, anyway, that was the first crazy thing in the wedding. And the second crazy
So is
thing,
she in jail yet? I
yeah,
just want to say.
I really hope so. Um, yeah, that's terrible. Yeah, and I debated on whether I was gonna like say that aloud at the off chance that like my friend listens to this, but honestly, I would tell him the same thing. Like, dude, I don't think he even saw that it happened too. Like, I think at that point he was off with his wife, so maybe even taking pictures still. But like, that's not okay. Like, ugh.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's not
That's
okay that they
definitely
did that
weird.
at their wedding too. So like, yeah. But yeah, anyway, that was the first crazy thing. And the second crazy thing you have to understand is we drove there, which is for us about a 6 hour drive, 5.5 hour, 6 hour drive. Um, Starting that morning. So we got up at 4:30, drove all the way there, and we did not eat because we figured, all right, we'll be able to eat there. Like we'll have some time before. So they were like, yeah, we'll have some time before, and we should be able to eat right before they start or like right after. We waited and waited, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna go to the restaurant right after we take pictures or right after we do everything. Okay, great. We all pile over to the restaurant, which is like literally across the street from the park, and we sat down and they didn't even ask for our orders for another 30 minutes.
Dang.
Wow.
Yeah, so we waited for 30 minutes for them to even ask us what we wanted. We ordered, and keep in mind, they reserved this like spot at this restaurant. So like they have a condensed wedding menu already prepped, right? And that's supposed to alleviate the kitchen so that they don't just like have to cook every different fucking thing on the dish when 40 people show up.
Yeah.
So we order and 25 minutes goes by. Now, mind you, it's like 6:30 now, or it's like 6:15ish, and like I still haven't eaten all day. I'm like, wait, what the fuck's
Jeez.
going on? It gets to seven. I said to the people next to me, I was like, I'm telling you, if by 7 o'clock they don't come out with at least a fucking salad, I'm leaving. Like I'm not staying here. And at like 6:47 ish, they came out with a salad.
Oh my
Ah.
God.
Yeah, we didn't get the actual
Jeez.
food until 7:25. So we
So
were
I just want to say, sorry to interrupt, but what's up with you and not eating at weddings?
me.
Yeah,
I'm not
I
trying. I was
swear.
trying to eat at this
Like,
one.
I'm not saying that like you're trying to, but it seems like every single time I've been to a wedding with you, like for some reason you've not been able to eat a lot.
So more recently, the reason is because I'm vegan. So like, I'm never gonna tell the people at the wedding I'm vegan because what the I don't. Why would I ever expect them to accommodate my like health choice or whatever the fuck for like just
Right.
one person? That just doesn't seem feasible. So I just suck it up that day and make sure I either eat before or like eat right after that it's something I can have. Like, and I just don't depend on wherever they get.
Like, isn't there usually something you can eat like off the plate? Like, especially at a wedding.
Yeah, so like for example, at this one, like at the restaurant that we ordered from, I got one of the entrees that I couldn't have, and then just told Danielle like if you want it, you can have it. But like I just ordered a bunch of like French fries.
That's
That's what
smart.
you had after waiting all day.
Yeah, so that took 2.5 hours. We sat there for over 2 hours waiting for food.
That's
So
crazy.
at around like the hour and a half, almost 2 hour mark, the black people at the table were starting to, well, there was three different tables, but the black people in the room in the party were starting to get real pissed. Like they were so angry, and also they found out from walking around the restaurant that another party that was just as big as ours came in and after us and were already seated and had eaten.
Oh
Nope, you
my
can't let them see
God.
proof. That,
Yeah. Yep.
yep,
It's over.
So then they
yep.
just unleashed the people upon them, and fiery hellfire. It just rained down upon the management, so much so that they comped the entire meal.
Oh my
Aw,
God.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so in the end, I guess it was a win for humanity, even though it caused us great, great suffering, but we did
Hey,
that for you guys.
dude,
Another
yeah.
win for
It's like
humanity.
a
So,
restaurant.
do
Yeah.
you
Like,
Oh, and
do you want
yes,
to
and
put this
yes,
restaurant
yes,
on
I
blast?
do. I actually remember the name. Benvenuto's. You all fucking suck.
wait,
Benvenuto's
where?
in Fitchburg, Wisconsin. You all are shit. Holy fuck. And to the waitstaff there, thank you so fucking much for trying your best to fucking sort through that fucking hot garbage of a kitchen that they have going on back there. It was not you all's fault. And we actually did end up paying the servers and just not for the food. So yeah, all the money that we spent there went to servers.
Mitchford? Is that what you said?
Fitchburg.
Oh, Fitchburg.
Yeah, Fitchy Fitch.
I mean, I'm not trying to like spread rumors, but I feel like I've heard in the past that that town is not particularly friendly to us people.
You think so? I think
What's
they one of
wrong
them
about Fitchburg in particular?
Mhm.
one of them might live there. One of the bride or groom. I don't know. I'll ask. I'm gonna ask them.
They're like, is your town rampant
But
with
then
racism?
But then, like, why? If that's the case, why bother letting them like reserve it? Like that restaurant, we tallied up what we thought everything cost based on the menu items, and they also had a bunch of drinks. I think they easily lost out on like $1,000 tab that night, like in comps. Like that's a crazy length to go to as a business just to be racist. Like that's nuts.
Some people would like go those lengths. It's like they're like, yeah, I don't even want that money.
But you let us
And
sit.
they,
But you let us sit down in there and taint all of your beautiful, beautiful linens.
yeah, just for the chance to disrespect someone. That's
Mm,
pretty much all people live for these
disgu-
days.
disgusting.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my time at the wedding. It was beautiful. I laughed. I cried. I
Did you bleed?
I almost died.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's close.
yeah. I didn't bleed at all, thankfully. Oh, and the hotel was absolutely terrible too.
It's terrible.
You want to put
Yeah.
them on blast?
Yeah, Baymont, man. Baymont and Fitchburg, you all are shit.
The Fitchburg is not good,
No, no, no,
man.
no, no. It's just Baymont. I don't know I don't know what is wrong with that. That hotel looked like it was something out of a fucking horror film.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, so Baymont Fitchburg, don't go there. Don't do it.
Dang.
Dude, I'm
Okay.
looking at this Benvenuto's Italian grill in Fitchburg, and it's got raving reviews. Like, people are like dying
Yeah.
by this.
Yeah, they just
And
didn't
so
like
one
us, I
guy
guess.
posted a picture of what appears to be like grocery store bought hamburger buns with cinnamon and sugar on top, and he says, "This is not Zapoli. These are dinner rolls with cinnamon and sugar on them." And this was earlier this year that was posted. Yeah, and it looks like I can't even believe you would serve this as like an option in your food. Like I can't like how is this possible? Like I would just be like, we're out of this, or like we don't sell that anymore. Like they literally bought dinner rolls, like or not dinner rolls. They bought hamburger buns from the grocery store and just sprinkled cinnamon and sugar on top. Like, and they're uncooked. They're not even toasted.
Yeah, they could have at least like cut out like a
Yeah.
circle from within the bun so you don't know that it was
Yeah.
actually a hamburger bun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's funny you say that because our food, when it actually arrived, Danielle said none of it was good. Like her she had like chicken parmesan, and the chicken was definitely burned.
Oh my
Yeah,
God. Oh,
and the
dude, that
and
was
the
a hell.
I like ordered cod, and the cod had a bunch of. She said the cod had like way too much breading on it.
Did they have a bar there?
Yeah, yeah, they did.
Dude, we should call John Taffer from Bar Rescue to send him there.
Yeah, Benvenutos, you all were man. And the management just had to shit the bed. Like I don't know, it's crazy.
I could be like, yeah, I'm a manager of a large podcast with a huge following called It's Basically Monday, and we
Yeah.
want you to go check out Benvenuto's Italian Grill. As long
Uh,
as he doesn't look into our channel and how not large we are, then like he might do it.
maybe. Just maybe.
Maybe.
Just maybe. You're like, what? Like
uh,
2 followers? Get
uh,
out of here.
God, what a terrible place.
Yeah. All right. Well,
But yeah, but that was it. And we went to Qdoba and ate after that because we had to.
some semi-real food.
Yeah. Yep.
Chipotle is so much better.
Yeah. But it really made me appreciate like being in my own home because after anytime I'm feeling a little restless, I'm just gonna remember that like that long of a day and just like, you know what? I'm good right where I am.
Yeah, that is so introverted of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another win for the don't go outside column. Thank you
Yeah.
for
Yep.
that.
Yep.
You just stay
Yeah.
indoors,
Yeah, guys,
inside.
the only real way to avoid Monday is to stay indoors.
Oh man.
All right. Well, I think that was a pretty good wrap up of where we've been and what we've been up to. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, we really have been pretty consistent. I'm actually pretty surprised by that. But yeah, at this
Yeah.
rate, we'll probably have might make 20 episodes by the end of the year.
Yeah, it's so easy
Don't
now.
jinx
It's
it.
just live, no
Oh, don't jinx
editing.
it now.
Oh, it's jinxed. It's too late.
It's jinx, it's over
Yeah,
now.
I'll see you
Yeah.
guys in 2 months.
Yep.
Yep.
And it's yeah, in
Yeah.
4 years.
In 1 year. That's how it goes.
Yeah, that's it. It's over now. Well, all right. I guess we will say our goodbyes and we'll see you guys next October.
Probably.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be September. Who knows? Yeah. Keep their expectations low.
Yeah.
October.
Yeah, we'll see you in 2023.
We'll see. Yeah, exactly.
Bye-bye.